Okay, so today, well, a little while ago, I made a tier list. Well, not really a list. A list of my least favorite to most favorite NHL teams, and now I decided to make another one for the halfway point of the season, right before the Olympic break. Kind of going over how my opinions have changed on certain teams so far, and just pick quick recap. I played hockey as a kid, and recently in 2023 season, I got back into hockey. So, what I like in a team. First off, this is the order of how it works. First off, is the overall look. Do I like how the jerseys look? Because I'm going to be looking at that the most. So if I don't like how that looks, it's no good. Second is the storyline. Is it interesting? Am I engaged? Like, for example, the picture in the background is the Miracle on Ice from the USA team when they beat the Soviets. That was a good storyline. Next is the players. Do I like each individual player? Are they fun to watch, entertaining, like behind the scenes, after the games, all that stuff? And last is just the history. Is there storylines before the storyline we're currently following? Anyway, let's get right into this. Last place, with no change, the New Jersey Devils. Yep, they are still terrible, and I still don't like their players at all. Next, no change still, Seattle Kraken. Just the most whatever boring team ever. I don't really hate these guys. They're more just like absolutely nothing to me. I just like have almost no opinions on them. They're almost like I don't even recognize them almost. That's why they're so low. Next, this one's a big drop. Dropping 21 positions. The Dallas Stars. So, obviously that's a huge drop. I liked this team a lot last season, but this season, they don't, like, when I watch them play, it's almost like they don't care. And then Mikko Rantanen, I've really hated this season because he's injured so many players, and I've seen him done a couple of embellishment plays that I really dislike and I really lose respect for. So honestly, Dallas Stars, it's more just they lost respect. Next, Oilers, because of the Dallas Stars drop, they move up 1 point. Still don't really like them. They're based just the McDavid show. And really, if it wasn't for him and Draisaitl, they would be the worst team in the league, honestly. So, I respect McDavid, but at the same time, it's just the Oilers are like, it's like, how can you be not the greatest team in the league when you have McDavid and Draisaitl? I mean, come on, guys, like, really. Next, the Rangers dropping 18 spots. Nothing but drama with these guys, and it's not the fun kind of drama that you really want to see. And I have a feeling the Rangers might drop even further by the end of the season. Next, Ottawa, 12 spots. A lot of this just doing with the drama and how everything about the Senators recently has not been about hockey itself. And it's like, I'm here for the hockey. I don't care about everything else, and they just been not very fun to watch. Next, Vancouver. More as a result of the other teams dropping. But still, Vancouver is just another kind of tire fire. It's not the most fun to watch. Next, Winnipeg Jets jump up 4 spots. Still kind of just like a whatever team to me. Nothing really exciting about them. And recently they've been struggling, which has kind of created its own interesting storyline. I think that's why they bumped up, is because they sucked recently, which is kind of interesting. Number 24 is Columbus. They kind of dropped down because last year, they had that good storyline going with Gaudreau and almost making the playoffs. So it was really interesting to pay attention to. But now that magic's kind of gone for me. 23, Los Angeles, same spot. It's kind of like another team where I just don't really have any feelings for, and their hockey I find kind of boring. 22, Anaheim. They have a nice little boost from actually playing okay so far. Well, not recently, but in general, they're doing pretty well. They're kind of an exciting team to follow. They really can't make it that high ever, though, because I hate their jerseys. They're so ugly. 21, dropping another big drop, dropping 16 points. St. Louis was one of those teams where it's like their storylines are always interesting, like the 2019 Cup, and then of course last year when halfway through they fired their coach, got Jim Montgomery, went on a big run, made it to the playoffs, and had that crazy series against Winnipeg. But now, like, all their players suck. They can't score a goal. They can't get a save. All of it is drama. It's just not very exciting to watch. Number 20, Philly. They had some interesting storylines going this season, but in general, it's just still kind of like boring, whatever. So another team I don't have much of an opinion on. 19, Capitals. Again, last year they had the OV race to catch Gretzky, and that was exciting, but now it's like their hockey I find very boring, and it's just not very exciting. Number 18, another big drop. Vegas. Vegas was my number 4 or number 3 last time? No, yeah, my number 3 last time. But now, I don't know. It's just fine that all their games go to overtime, and it's not very exciting. And Marner did not make a big splash, so that makes it not really interesting when he doesn't have anything interesting going on. I just find that because of all the loser points they get, it's kind of almost like not fair. It's like, oh, why the hell are you guys like so high in the league when you all you do is just tie? It's just kind of frustrating. 17, the Mammoth. I like that they actually have a jersey now. I like how their jersey looks. Obviously, their mascot there is pretty good too, but they've also kind of not been good enough. Like, they have so many, like, there's some teams where even though they're not the best, they're still fun to watch. Utah I don't find very fun to watch. 16, Tampa. I surprisingly like Tampa. I probably shouldn't, and you'll understand why when we get towards the top, but they are kind of an exciting team to watch in general. And of course, they're always dangerous, and somehow they're going crazy here recently when they sucked at the very start, but this is really exciting. 15, Calgary. This one kind of hurts personally because Calgary was my favorite team as a kid, but I hate how their jerseys look right now. They're old, like, jerseys that had the black instead of the white in the middle. That was real good jersey. Right now, they also have a lot of drama going on. They do have some players I like Wolf and Cooley. They're goalies I really, really enjoy, but recently, they're not very fun to watch. They keep losing. Next, Detroit. So, if Detroit can actually make it to the playoffs finally, after so long, and actually make some interesting plays and do something cool in the playoffs, then they'll probably start to bump up. But as of now, until they make it to the playoffs and have an exciting series, they're just kind of a whatever team. They're playing really well, but I never really have the desire to watch them that much. But their games can still be exciting. 13, Boston. The fact that these guys should be terrible, but they're not. And I actually kind of like the fact that either they win 7 in a row or lose 7 in a row. It kind of can create really interesting storylines. So they're always fun to keep an eye on. Number 12, Minnesota. Obviously, they're playing really well, and the Quinn Hughes stuff, that all makes it really exciting to watch as well. And I just kind of, Minnesota's one of those teams where it's like, their hockey's exciting to watch, but I kind of just like, I want them to do well. It's one of those teams where I feel like they should make a splash. They should have a good series. But if they make it to playoffs and they lose in the first round again, they're going to drop pretty far, because then it's like, why am I getting invested for a team that's just going to lose in the first round? Just not worth my time. 11, Pittsburgh. Honestly, all this stuff going on with the goalies and Stuart Skinner, because I really respect Skinner. I like Skinner a lot. So the fact that he's going there is actually not playing too poorly, and the fact that everyone expected them to be one of the worst teams in the league, and they're in a playoff spot, and Crosby's making that last push. There's a lot of good storylines going on, but I don't like the all-yellow jersey. But that's just me personally. Number 10, Carolina. A lot of people would say this team is just boring and whatever, but I kind of like them. A lot of their series can be exciting for me personally. A lot of people don't like them, but they're just one of those teams I enjoy them. But I just will say, this jersey they have in the background, like the flag, I hate that one. I actually love their classic logo. A lot of people don't like it, but I love it. Number 9, Nashville. I've always liked Nashville. They always have interesting storylines, for better or for worse, and this year's no different. The only reason they dropped 3 spots is more because the other teams that had really, really interesting stories going on this season, and they had a slow start. If they didn't have such a slow start and clearly looked like they would suck, obviously recently they've been doing well, but if they were playing like they are now at the very beginning, they probably wouldn't have dropped so many spots. Number 8, finally we're getting into a really big mover, the Islanders. Now, last year, the Islanders, I was not a big fan of them, mostly because I found their hockey to be quite boring. I was like, why am I watching this? This isn't exciting. But now, their goalies are amazing, and Schaefer is just like electrified that whole brand and makes it really interesting to watch. Now, it's actually, I'm invested in it. And I also like Patrick Waugh as a coach, too. And ever since Ranston injured that one player, sorry, I forgot his name, and he made that incredible play where he really... It was 2 separate instances. No, it was the one play where Rantanen injured the guy. I was like, okay, I hate Dallas. I have respect for the Islanders. But then it was when the one guy, God, I forget his name. Sorry about that. But he tore his ACL, and then while skating to the bench with a torn ACL, took the puck, made a play, and they scored a goal. And I was like, what the hell? And ever since then, I'm like, Islanders are the best. They're so good. Number 7, another big surprising jump, is Buffalo. I'm kind of invested in Buffalo. It's kind of surprising. I really want them to make the playoffs. And Tage Thompson, I watched him play a game this year forget who it was against, but I watched him play a game. I'm like, this guy is hardcore. I love this guy. Tage Thompson is such an exciting player to watch. And Buffalo, it might not be the hockey that's exciting to watch, but it's the storyline. I'm so invested. Like, I want these guys to succeed because if anyone in the league deserves it, it's them. My God, for so long. Number 6, Toronto. They really dropped just because of all the drama going around. Recently, they've been doing better, but it's just like there's so much noise with Toronto every single day, every single game that can be hard to get into. But of course, I live in Toronto, so I'm invested in them, of course. But they're not my number 1. Number 5. I think this is the biggest mover of the entire league, is the Blackhawks. The fact that they aren't complete garbage, obviously ever since they lost Bedard for a little bit, they've kind of been struggling, but the fact that they aren't total garbage, and the fact that Spencer Knight is such a good goalie, it makes it very exciting to watch. And I've always liked their look, and I've always liked their history. So the fact that they aren't complete garbage, they're still great. But the fact they're not complete garbage this time, I really respect. Number 4, another big mover, San Jose. I mean, celebrating says it all. That's all you really need. That's why they're so high. This kid's gonna be the next great one. Like, it's absurd. Number 3, Colorado. I have mad respect for these guys. Every single game, even when it doesn't matter, they give it their all, and I have mad respect for it. Number 2, didn't move at all, Montreal Canadiens. These kids are still exciting to watch, and nothing will ever change. That is for sure. And of course, to no surprise, number 1, Florida Panthers. And before people say that I'm a bandwagon guy, I was cheering for them before they won their Stanley Cups. So I've been investing in these guys, and all their players are exciting. The storylines are always incredible. And even when there's drama, all their games are always exciting because you never know when it's going to get juicy. That's why they're my number 1. I'll do another one of these updates probably at the end of the season after the playoffs or right before the next season starts. And we'll see how my teams move up and down. Anyways, I really appreciate you watching, and have a good one.